Hello and welcome to the Long Island weather update. Smoke definitely getting worse today. This is the sad light before the sun went down. You can see a thick haze of smoke, mostly aloft, not quite at the surface. All the way over the northeast, you can see that smoke, and it definitely had an effect on the sky tonight. Looking at the sunset, this is what it looked like, and we show that. Here we go. So that's what the sun looked like as it was going down. Very orangey, and then as it got further down, it got even redder. And yeah, it got even redder. This is Massapequa Lake. And then really got red as it was setting. You had to go up a little high to get this, but this is the sun here, and if we actually look closely, let's make this full size. This is going to be a little grainy here, but let's show you. We actually have a sunspot right there. You can see right there. That's a sunspot. So yeah, that's how filtered the sun was tonight by the smoke. Pretty thick smoke right there. And then the moon also looking strange tonight as well. Moon had kind of a brownish, orangish look to it. You can see there. Another look at it right there. Just really strange looking due to this thick wildfire smoke. So I'll set this satellite in motion now. Should take a look at it. And we did have some thunderstorms pop up over New England. You can see a pretty good complex there. Actually, severe thunderstorms actually wind up hitting Boston, believe it or not. But other than that, nothing really for our area. Just dealing with all this wildfire smoke right now. Looking at the air now, you can see we've got yellow, so we're in a yellow moderate zone. But you can see some of the extreme northern areas here. It looks like showing parts of Canada, actually. And you see some red and orange on here where the smoke is thicker. And we also have a lot of red and orange over Western Canada. That's where the fires are really going. But most of the country, a lot of the country dealing with this. Definitely questionable air quality here. If we look at the New York State air quality, we're at moderate levels here. So Long Island, PM 2.559, and the further upstate you go, the worse it is. Eastern Lake Ontario region 79, Adirondacks 79. So Namaro looks pretty high. It looks high as well. So there is some smoke out there. Yeah, we'll get to that in a moment. Ernesto, please wait. I know everybody wants to hear about that, but let's look at the CONUS satellite view first. And you'll get to see Ernesto here. Look at that. Wow, that looks like a pretty powerful hurricane right there. So you got two pretty interesting features here on this. Here's Ernesto, and here's the... actually, I am going to save a screenshot of that because I think that will be the thumbnail. But you can see here, look at that. Wow, that's... you see the smoke there, and then here's Ernesto here. So pretty interesting. Not too. It doesn't look like the smoke's too bad across the country. We'll go ahead and look at the northern U.S. view here. Let's see what's going on up here. Yeah, see a lot of the smoke. The thickest smoke is up in Canada. It looks like it's even going to get pulled around. See, there's some more smoke coming down around this low, though. But you can see, I think that smoke is going to wind up in Europe. I really do. So, yeah, that's going to be interesting. Now, the MODIS wasn't working last night. So let's just see if that MODIS was working or not. I don't think it was, but we'll go and look at it here. All right, it's working again. So you can see the smoke's actually going to get pulled. Yeah, it's going to get pulled into Europe. That's pretty nuts there. And there's, again, Ernesto. So let's get the latest on Hurricane Ernesto, being that it wants to be the center of attention, and it has strengthened now. And it looks pretty well defined on the satellite. It's got good definition. Ernesto strengthening as it approaches Bermuda. High risk of dangerous rip currents along the U.S. East Coast beaches Friday and over the weekend as of 8 p.m. It is the center of Hurricane Ernesto is located near latitude 26.6 north, longitude 68.9 west. Ernesto is moving to the north near 13 miles an hour. This general motion is expected to continue through early Friday, followed by a slower northeastward or north-northeastward motion late Friday and Saturday. A faster northeastward motion is expected later this weekend. On the forecast track, the center of Ernesto is expected to pass near or over Bermuda on Saturday. Maximum sustained winds have increased to near 90 miles an hour with higher gusts, and additional strengthening is forecast on Friday. Ernesto is forecast to be a large hurricane near Bermuda on Saturday. And it is large, too. Hurricane force winds extend outward up to 60 miles from the center, and tropical storm force winds extend outward up to 265 miles from the center. That's impressive. The estimated minimum central pressure based on data from the Air Force Hurricane Hunters is 970 millibars to 8.64 inches. That is pretty impressive. And we'll just show you the cone again. And it looks like now hurricane warnings have been issued for Bermuda. And we're going to talk more about this tomorrow night as we have some more information on how this is going to. We'll have more models to work with as this gets closer into the shorter range as it affects Bermuda. But certainly it is a very large hurricane. So let's take a look at the Ernesto on the satellite image here. And here it is. Look at that thing. You can see, look at all the convection just firing up around it. Definitely very, very strong. That it is a very large hurricane, too, as well. We're going to look at it on this satellite as well. And again, showing all that convection going on around it. Look at that. Wow, that's pretty impressive right there. So this is definitely going to strengthen some further. Let's go and look at some of the observations across the area right now. We did have sea breezes finally developed today. West-southwest wind after starting off. Dew points are up there, though, up to 66. Definitely feeling a little humidity today. Did hit 88 degrees at Islip, so it was pretty warm because for much of the day we had a, let's see when the sea breeze kicked in. It didn't kick in until late in the afternoon, 3:30. Yeah, that's when it kicked in around, and the temperature dropped slowly. But, yeah, very... when we had the westerly winds, though, the dew points were lower. We had the dew points in the 50s, but it was pretty hot, even at Islip. So a lot of areas got pretty hot today because of that westerly wind. Let's look at the highs today, and you can see highs generally are in the we're in the upper 80s. So 88 at Islip, 88 at Shirley, 86 at West Hampton. You had to go all the way to the Twin Forks to get cooler than that with low 80s. And then as you work your way west into my area, pretty close to 90 in Mineola, I would think. High of 88 at Islip, and even JFK got up to 88, 86 at Central Park. So upper 80s the rule in a lot of areas, 90 in Toms River. And the lows probably not as low as they were the previous night. So, yeah, lows, well, West Hampton still got down to 57, mid-60s elsewhere. Okay, low 70s, of course, in the city as well as my alley. And 59 for a low in the Pine Barrens west of Toms River. So, depending on where you were, I don't think it's going to be cooling down quite that much tonight. Now, there were some pretty strong thunderstorms over. I want to just go to the radar rewind here if we can do that. Over the Boston area. I'm just going to briefly mention this because we go earlier on. We had some pretty impressive thunderstorms here going over around the Boston area this afternoon here. 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock. Those are pretty impressive there. And I wonder if they caused the power outages. So let's just see. I wouldn't be surprised if Massachusetts is in the yellow, and it's not. Okay. The storms, I guess, looked worse on the radar than they actually were, but still. So let's go and look at our climate statistics for today. Islip had a high of 87. They're saying 87, but it really hit 88. Low was 65. So, yeah, 2 degrees above normal for the day. Central Park, and 5 degrees above normal for the high, really 6 because it was 88. Central Park got up to 86, low was 68, and 1 degree above normal there. So definitely above normal, and it's going to start getting warmer as we get into tomorrow. So let's see if any stations were reporting smoke. I'm just kind of curious if any stations were reporting smoke up in here. Any restrictions on visibility. We'll probably have to go further into Maine to see if we have any restrictions on visibility. Okay, no, that site is reporting mist, of course, that orange drizzle again. 6 mile visibility, light rain, mist. So not really seeing any restrictions from the visibility at the surface. There definitely probably is some near surface smoke in some of these areas. It's got to be an airport over here. All right, so yeah, 7 mile visibility. So there is some reduced visibility in the extreme northern. You have to be pretty far north. Let's see if Nova Scotia has any restrictions on visibility. No, none there. But there could definitely be some. as that smoke is still around. And some of it's going to get down to the surface. I'm kind of curious if Mount Washington has, because they're up high. And this is Mount Washington. Let's see. Haze being reported. So they've got 3-mile visibility at Mount Washington with haze right now. So it looks like they're dealing with some smoke on the top of Mount Washington. So that's the smoke is mostly aloft, and that's why we're not smelling it too much at the surface, but it definitely is making the sky very, very hazy for sure. So let's go ahead and look at some of the models. I'm only going to cover the weather through tomorrow, and tonight's weather update is a little later, and I've been doing a lot of long weather updates, and I can't do a long one tonight. So we're just going to do a short one and follow the weather through tomorrow. Looking at the HRRR, let's see if we have any precipitation tomorrow. No. Not going to have to look at that, but we are going to have an increase in humidity. So starting off with west winds tomorrow, and then they become southerly as we get toward the afternoon. And that's definitely, the humidity is definitely going to be higher as a result of that. Your temperatures, we're probably not going to get as low tonight. And again, what were the temperatures out there when we looked at the current temperatures? 72. All right, 72. Yeah, 72 at Islip, showing you what my alley is like. It is 78 in the alley, of course. So, similar to LaGuardia. Anyway, so not going to drop back too much tonight with the temperatures, and tomorrow we're going to probably be near 90 again in Nassau County and New Jersey, probably low 90s. But because of the sea breeze, it'll probably be cooler on the South Shore and out east, mid to upper 80s there for your high temperatures. So we're going to go look at the sky cover and, of course, the smoke. So tomorrow we will have high clouds increasing. It looks like most of the day we shouldn't see too many clouds, but later on into the evening we'll start seeing some more high clouds stream in from that next frontal system that we're going to have to deal with on the weekend, and I'm not going to talk about tonight, but we will talk about tomorrow night. So let's go ahead and look at the smoke models here. First, starting with the RAP. And let me find the one that goes on the longer range here. 21Z. Okay, so let's go ahead and look at that. Vertically integrated smoke. So you can see that those reds are going to be over us tomorrow. You can see tomorrow they're going to be over us for most of the day. So things are going to be hazier tomorrow than they were today. It won't be until the weekend that we start really moving some of that smoke away from us. Let's go and look at the near surface smoke, because there is some near surface smoke, and let's see if we're going to be dealing with some of that tomorrow. A little bit of it. It doesn't look like it's going to be too bad. The near surface smoke looks like it's going to stay mainly on the other side of the border. There may be a little bit of it, but see, this also is an interesting thing. So you can go to 1,000 feet, all right? And you can see this shows you what it's like at 1,000 feet. And most of the smoke's actually above that as well. It's probably more like 6,000 feet. So if we go to 6,000 feet, this probably shows where it's thicker. Yeah. So it's mainly at 6,000 feet that we're seeing the smoke. It's not at the surface. There may be a little bit of it in the air tomorrow, but it shouldn't be. It's mostly aloft. That's usually what happens when the fires are further away. That's one smoke model. Let's go to the HRRR one next, because we should have the 0Z HRRR smoke model in. This will be the vertically integrated smoke on the HRRR, which is a higher resolution. So you can see we're definitely in that orange there, that red. It's not really going to get better until we maybe get toward the weekend when it starts to get pushed away a little bit. But tomorrow, the sky is going to have a very hazy look to it, like it has today. Maybe even a little bit worse, perhaps, according to some of these models. But if we look at the near-surface smoke, again, it's not showing too much near the surface. Let's see what we've got here. Yeah, the near surface, it seems like the near surface smoke is, looks like maybe we try to get a little bit of it. We might get a little bit of it in, but I think, for the most part, I think we'll avoid having to deal with too much smoke near the surface. Most of it is aloft. Hence, that's why our air quality isn't going to get any worse than moderate. So, that's going to wrap up this Long Island weather update. Thank you for watching, and good night.